There are gazes that say everything, when lips remain sealed. And there are moments, sudden, intense, unforgettable, when the truth breaks through the silence like lightning across a calm sky. This is not just about jealousy. This is about something deeper. Something raw and real. Possession, not of power or control, but of emotion. Fierce, protective, undeniable. And recently, Wang Yibo, China's enigma of calm restraint, showed the world that Xiao Zhan is not just a co-star. Not just a friend. He's someone no one else is allowed to touch. Not without consequence. Behind the dazzling curtain of China's entertainment industry, there are stories more fragile than any love line scripted for the screen. Stories woven not through dialogue, but through glances, gestures, and the silence between heartbeats. These stories are rarely seen, only whispered in dressing rooms or caught in the reflections of backstage mirrors. But this story could no longer stay hidden. It started with a moment. Unplanned, unscripted, but powerful enough to freeze the air. It happened during the taping of a major variety show, a production filled with bright lights, backstage bustle, and the quiet pressure of perfection. Xiao Zhan, ever the professional, was preparing for the next segment. A female staff member walked up, adjusting his costume with quiet efficiency. It was a routine task, innocent, necessary. Until Wang Yibo turned. Witnesses say the change in him was instant. 1 second, calm, focused. The next, sharp, protective. His eyes narrowed, jaw tensed. And then, he moved. Without a word, he stepped forward, placing himself between Xiao Zhan and the staff member with a precision that didn't need explanation. "I'll help him," he said. 3 words. Quiet, cool, final. Everyone froze. But that wasn't the moment that made hearts stop. It was what came next. A sentence delivered in a whisper, to the manager, to those who mattered most, to those who would understand. "Don't let anyone get too close to him. Xiao Zhan is not for everyone. He's mine." It was said with no smile. No drama. But it thundered. Because in those 7 words was something deeper than a claim. It was a vow. It wasn't about ownership. It was about care, devotion, protection. And the moment that sentence leaked, whispered by someone who stood close enough to feel the shift in the air, it spread through the fandom like wildfire. YiZhan, their ever-watchful supporters, were stunned. But then, something else happened. The disbelief turned into quiet acknowledgement. Because the signs had always been there. The way Wang Yibo always seemed to know where Xiao Zhan was, even in crowded rooms. The way their eyes lingered, not out of habit, but out of silent comfort. The countless clips where their hands brushed, and neither pulled away. Moments that once seemed like fanfiction suddenly felt like proof. Like pieces of a truth hiding in plain sight. There was that award ceremony, the one fans still replay, frame by frame. Another male artist reached for Xiao Zhan's hand in a gesture of camaraderie. It lasted just a moment, until Wang Yibo stepped in. A subtle move, effortless, protective. He gently redirected Xiao Zhan's hand, clasping it himself. On stage, it looked like choreography. But to those watching closely, it was something more. Possession, once again, not as a cage, but as a shield. A stylist who worked with them once shared, almost in passing. Yibo doesn't talk much, but when he loves someone, he won't let them be taken. And maybe, that's what we've been witnessing all this time. Not a friendship, not just chemistry, but love. Quiet, fierce, unshakable. Love that doesn't declare itself in grand speeches or scripted confessions. Love that lives in the shadows, beneath the lights, behind the curtains. In jackets quietly draped over cold shoulders. In warm drinks handed over without a word on chilly nights. In smiles that only bloom in the presence of one person. In the quiet way Wang Yibo watches Xiao Zhan when he thinks no one else is looking. Some say their story began during the Untamed. Long hours on set, shared scenes, shared silences, and yet, whatever started then did not end when the cameras stopped rolling. Instead, it grew. In every behind-the-scenes clip where one waits for the other. In every interview where eyes meet first before words are spoken. In every concert where one glances across the stage, searching, before smiling. It became a language only they speak. A presence they carry like second skin. And now, that one sentence, "He's mine," has cast new light on every moment that came before. Suddenly, fans aren't just seeing edits or shipping theories. They're seeing something that feels real. Something that feels sacred. Some moments are louder than microphones. Some truths don't need to be shouted to be heard. Wang Yibo's quiet defense, his effortless claim, was not for the press. It wasn't for publicity. It was for the people who mattered. Those who understood the weight of what he was truly saying. He wasn't just stepping in. He was stepping up, marking a boundary, not to isolate Xiao Zhan, but to shield him. Because in an industry that takes more than it gives, where appearances are currency and emotion is weakness, Wang Yibo chose to stand still. Steady, unapologetic. He didn't say, "I love you," on camera. He didn't need to. Because when he stood between Xiao Zhan and the world, when he said, "He's mine," he said everything. Love doesn't always wear flowers and rings. Sometimes, it wears silence. Sometimes, it wears black hoodies, tired eyes, and a hand gently resting on the small of someone's back in a crowded hallway. Sometimes, it appears in fleeting seconds, gone before it can be captured, but unforgettable to anyone who saw it. In their case, it lives in subtleties. A breath held too long. A chair pulled slightly closer. A gaze that never needs words. They may never confirm it. They don't have to. Because what they share isn't for the world. It's theirs. Something sacred. Something built in shadows, sustained by trust. Not performance. And now, we ask you. Do you believe this is just professionalism taken too far? Or is it something else? Something deeper. A bond forged not by scripts, but by something unspoken. Do you think, "He's mine," was just a slip of emotion, or a confession cloaked in quiet? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Tell us what you think love looks like, when the cameras roll, and when they don't. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and tap the notification bell. Because more stories, of love that whispers, of bonds that defy labels, of moments that reveal everything without saying a word, are still waiting to be told. Until next time, remember, some love doesn't shout, some love doesn't pose, some love simply exists. Steady, real, and forever watching from just one step away.